I knew from a really early on age that I wanted to come to West Point. So with that being said, you can't apply to West Point on any sort of accommodations. So all my life I was on accommodations for my learning disability.
She knew from the time she was like 5 years old that she wanted to come to the academy. She didn't know then, of course, that she wanted to play lacrosse. She was a soccer player most of her life. But she always knew that she wanted to come here because she wanted to be an officer in the Army. So she wanted that more than anything else. And we started talking to her really young, though, about how difficult it would be for her because she was diagnosed in first grade with a significant learning disability. And we actually pulled her out of public school and put her into a school for kids with learning challenges. When
I transitioned to high school, I knew that because West Point will not accept anyone on any sort of accommodations, I needed to start weaning off of them. So that means that I would have had to go off of all accommodations my junior year of high school in order to apply.
In her freshman year of high school, she had a massive concussion and she ended up missing most of the school year. And that set her whole plan that she had out before her back.
It was definitely difficult to adjust being a new high school student and coming out of a concussion that serious. So a lot of my adjusting I did at home too because I was actually out of school for a majority of my freshman year of high school.
At the time it was devastating. First we were worried about her health. You know, we were worried if she was ever going to go to if she would ever be able to go to college. And watching her, for several months, she had 3 or 4 different visits at the hospital every day. She had vision therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy. She had massive migraines for months. She was a very active kid, played 2 sports, couldn't play any sports. Her whole life just kind of fell apart.
The biggest one was definitely my mom. She was just there every single day for me. She took me to every single one of my therapy appointments when I got my concussion. We were in the hospital every day going back and forth for these therapies and appointments, and she spent quite a few months with me at home on the couch.
We knew that Hannah, had faced some struggles in high school, whether it was injuries or, some struggles in the classroom. And I think that, even in just talking with her, she knows that she has to work harder than the average cadet here to succeed. And she really likes that. She knows that when she gets out into the real world, into the Army, life isn't kind. And I think that she knows that she wants to be on an even playing field and be really pushed. And that was one of her motives to choosing West Point.
It was never really taken seriously until I hit high school and I said no, I actually really do want this. So my mom really stepped up at that point in helping me with the whole application process, and it was a lot of work too because I needed 2 medical waivers to even apply, one for the concussion, one for the learning disability. And a lot of that kind of work I struggled with. I didn't know how to handle medical paperwork, and my mom really took on that load of it and that side of the application.
She knew her challenge was going to be getting 2 medical waivers, one for her concussion and one for her learning disability. So she was happy the day she got recruited. She was really happy the day she got the congressional nomination, but I'd say the day that she was over the moon happy was the day she got her medical waiver.
It was an amazing moment, yeah. It was one that I had waited to hear a really long time. Same with my mom. My mom cried. She was so happy.
She got home before I did that day, and she made a sign because she got the email, and she made a sign and she posted on the outside the door, and it said, "I got a waiver." And she was just so excited. We both cried. It was a long road for her, and I was really happy for her.
I don't think it really hit me until I was talking to my guidance counselor, and he was telling me about all the people that he's worked with in the past with academies, and he told me straight up, he was like, "Hannah, I've never had a student with a learning disability even want to apply, or I've never had a student with a concussion of your stature even try to apply." And he was like, having both of those and you still got in, and that's when it really hit me that at the time, I didn't really realize how much I was trying to work through until after I'd worked through it, and I looked back at it and I was like, wow, I did that.
It really hit me the first game I came to when they played in Mikey Stadium and her picture was up on the Jumbotron when they announced the starting lineup, and my heart just kind of skipped a beat. And then at the end of the game, when all the players come to the sideline and they sing the alma mater, to stand in the stands and sing the alma mater back to my daughter, it was just as emotional. I get all choked up after every game when I see them do that.
It's been everything and more. I absolutely love it here. I try to just think every day, even if there's hard days and things that I have to work through, I realize I'm really lucky to be here, and I don't take any day here for granted because of, you know, the things I've overcome to even get here. So I really just try to respect every day that I have here at the Academy and enjoy it too, because my mom tells me all the time the best days of her life was when she was a cadet. And cadets don't realize it when they're cadets, but later on down the road they realize it.